Schools are not their clubs. Schools are many things, but they're simply not their clubs. And what the opposition, or the government, is trying to do is simply give money to one aspect. This is the definition of parametrics, which my partner explained. Why? Because he said, oh, well, there's other clubs. Okay, there's also staff, faculty, research, light, water, all these many things that are needed in order for a school to keep going. All the government team is doing right now is giving money to a debate club. Now again, I love debate. I was about to say wasted. I spent 3 years of my life doing this activity, and it has come back a lot for me. It's helped me in many aspects of my life. But to say that this is all of my college education, I went to BSU to go to do debate, I'm sorry, it's not true. I hate to burst your bubble. Education is a lot more, and them simply giving money to debate is not giving money to improve our college and university system. The reason why we're talking about this today, judges, is because the tuition system is currently broken. There's a reason why every year there are increases. Why? Because things are expensive. Things like staff, things like water, everything is going up. We're not able to keep up, so they have to increase tuition. What they're doing is reallocating money to one program. This is not saving a problem, which I'm going to talk to you a lot more about on the six-pack. So when we're going down to T, let's just go straight down. Next, the violation, this still stands. They still parametrize something that they specifically want to talk about. Again, I know everyone in this room really loves debate. That's why we're all here. But that's not the university system. That doesn't make any sense, and it is the definition of parametricizing. Plus, grants go to education and research affecting many things, not just one club, like debate. So this idea that this is already happening doesn't stand. So let's look to our standards. Once again, the debatability of this is incredibly important when judging this T, judges. Why? Because they want us to talk about one thing. As I'm going to talk about in the voters, this is horrible for education, but it also greatly limits our ground. And then let's just all look back to what the resolution says. Debate's nowhere in this. I don't even think it fits into the sentence, the United States federal government should better fund college and universities and their debate teams. No, it doesn't fit in. So if we look at this, just the idea of the diction, it's not there. This T is still standing and incredibly important in today's round, judges. So now let's look to the voters and why you'd be voting for this. A priori, the only answer was no. Well, yes, it is still incredibly important. It is the first thing you're going to be looking to today, judges. Why? Because of all these different standards and why I told you you're going to be voting on it today. Ground loss, I think I've explained. Universities are not simply their debate teams. There are many different things that go into keeping them running. And finally, the education. We could have been talking about the tuition crisis, the fact that I have to pay more and more and more, and contemplate whether or not I can even afford a master's degree, and all those other people are simply not going to school because of this, but they refuse to. Instead, they talked about debate. We are losing a lot of education that are coming into this round, and I guarantee you, if you Google universities right now, debate's not going to pop up. It's going to talk about the amount of tuition that's costing. Let's go to six-pack. Let's look to interpretation. Once again, their interpretation is wrong, and before that, let's look at their violation. All they said is that, well, we're doing it. They didn't respond line by line to this. This is unfortunate. Why? Because the six-pack does hold water, mostly in the idea of the standards. Stock is, certain things are needed in order for a debate to occur, and having a significant case is one of them, judges. Why? Because this is an educational activity. We need to be talking about something more than keeping debate afloat. We need to be talking about how to keep our colleges afloat. We need to be talking about how to make sure we have an educated populace. This is something incredibly important that the government team is simply sacrificing because they want us to talk about debate. So once again, when we look to our second standard of government burden, they have failed their burden, judges. And sitting here talking about nothing but debate teams and how it sucks that they don't have money to put up posters around their campus, they have failed their burden. This is not what we should be debating about, judges. Again, debatability of losses and once in the ground loss, that all pulls across. So when we look to our voters today, education has clearly been brought down. I'll get to this in a little bit. But yes, you're right. So education has been brought down and ground loss is there. So both of those are standing. Let's look to our data. Now FAFSA. The response to this is that this is not unique. No, it's not. We're talking about the university system. And what's happening here is that most of the money comes from tuition. Where does tuition come from? Students. If students aren't able to attend tuition or attend schools because of the complexities that are FAFSA, then they are unable to do it. There are actually companies. And try and put yourself away from this. I know all of us have completed our FAFSAs. There are students who actually pay companies, I promise I'm not making this up, to do their FAFSAs for them. Just because we're able to actually complete this doesn't mean everyone else is able to. FAFSA is not allowed for everyone, and once again, I didn't make up the statistic, 1 in 7 FAFSAs are sent back. Count how many people are in here. Cut every 7th person. That's how many people are not allowed to go to school under the current status quo because they're not wanting to fix this. Instead, they're trying to fix debate clubs. Six-pack, topicality, first of 3.
How do we link to this?
I'm sorry?
How do we link to this?
Okay. let's go to the link. They are not doing anything to fix the FAFSA problem. The FAFSA system is broken, and they're not fixing it. This is something that directly links to fixing and funding university systems and colleges that they do not do. That was the link. So once again, the brink pulls right across. Let's look at all the impacts. 2.2. Well, I can just drag across the impacts.
They say that you're going to be able to educate more people through college. These people can't go to college. That's how they link.
Yeah, my partner brought up the giant impact of the idea that we're going to be able to educate more people. They're going to be able to critically think. How many people are, one, in a debate club, just think about, all of our teams here, but two, are actually going to be able to even go to school with this current system? The system is broken. People are not going to school because they cannot afford it. FAFSA was a huge problem, and the government team does nothing to fix this. Instead, all they sit here and say is that we're not linking to this. I've explained the link. You all now have the link. The D8 impacts still stand, and they're the biggest impacts of the round right now, Judge. So even if you aren't following us with T and SIG, the impacts in this round have not been refuted, and they still stand. So let's go on case. Education. Okay. Let's go to the advantages, and then I think I'm going to go back to some of the things wrong with Plan. Plan doesn't have a lot of solvency for many reasons. But one, let's look to the first advantages. Because, one, as much money as they want to get from whether it be, SGA or this reallocation, they can't fiat people's interest in debate. What I'm doing right now scares the hell out of a lot of people. I happen to like talking in front of people.